So in this video, I'm going to tell you the things that I wish I knew as a videographer and a video editor, and especially you should watch this if you want a career in anything video related. Stay tuned. How's it going? My name's Peter, and if you don't know who I am yet, you're watching a Broke Vision Collective, and I'm Peter. I started with a dream and a Nikon camera, and now I make videos for a living, and I've done videos from corporate to startup companies to global advertising agencies that needed my video services. And I started all from scratch, all by myself, and I had to learn the ropes, whether that's from educating myself, learning how to use the gear, learning how to light, and I don't consider myself the most
preeminent video editor on the world,
but I just cut straight to the point, and in this video, I'm gonna talk about the things that I wish I knew when I started video editing and how you can fast track your way into getting a career, whether that's you wanna do it as a hobby or you just like watching content on YouTube. Thanks for watching. But I guess the first thing that I wanted to tell you guys is when it comes to having a career in video editing and videography is that number one, you don't need to go to school, man or woman, because you don't need to go to film school. You don't need to spend a whole 4 years, even 6 years to learn the art of video editing and videography. Because truth is, if you really just took a Skillshare course, Udemy, any sort of cheap course online, and you used that and you played around and you filmed every day, 8 hours a day, you would learn the things that I wish I learned in 2 years, in 6 months. So that's number one. You don't need to go for school for this. Number two, I wish that people told me when I went into video and videography as a career is that you need to be self-sufficient and learn on your own, because you can't rely on someone to motivate you, to edit for you and teach you the ropes. There's things like YouTube. You can Google pretty much everything you want to know about video editing. And you don't, especially kind of links into number one, is that you don't need a degree to make videos online now. And the space is getting really crowded. So the faster you learn it and the faster you learn all the scopes of video, the faster you can get into a career in it. Which leads into number three, is that having experience and knowledge does not trump your network. In other words, it's kind of true in that cliche quote of, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And I got my very first client by pretty much my own network, and I knew someone that owned a business, and I pitched to them my video idea. And the reality is I had zero, besides making YouTube videos, experience, but that was 4 years ago, and I made them the video, they loved it, and they referred me to their other colleagues and coworkers, and I made more videos, and then next thing you know, I started getting paid for these videos, and now I'm doing it on a part-time basis, and then I do it to a full-time basis. So when it comes to videography and video editing, you want to network just as much as your skills when it comes to videos and filming. You want to have business chops, even a little bit. I would say a little bit to survive as a videographer, unless you want to work under a big Fortune 500 video agency where all they do is send you video work. If you want to be a self-employed contractor, then having a little bit of business acumen will definitely help you along the way. The fourth thing that I wish I knew about videography and video editing career is that it does get lonely. Because when you're cutting footage, you do spend time by yourself, and I myself am an introvert, but at the same time, I like to socialize. And when you're spent years on honing in your craft, you often forget that, wait a minute, I'm human, and I need to socialize a little bit too. So when it comes to having a videography career, you also want to balance that out, whether that's picking up some type of physical activity, doing sports, working out. You want to incorporate some kind of movement, because the reality is most of your days are spent sitting. And there is that debate where smoking is the new sitting or something along the lines of that. But include some kind of physical activity and make sure you yourself are in shape. And I guess the last thing when it comes to the things I wish I knew when it came to videography and video editing and anything video related and this career is that I wish I started a lot earlier than I did. Because if you don't know my story yet, is that I went to school for a degree that was really irrelevant, and I felt that I was peer pressured by my colleagues and my teachers. And deep down, instead of me going to university, the first thing that I wanted to do was doing something that I liked. So instead of going to 4 years in university that's unrelated, I wish I just dive straight into video editing. And that kind of leads me into my course in which I made it, is that I made it for my younger self and any of you guys if you want to get a career in video editing. The course is in the description below, and it is a 30-minute crash course on everything I know in 2 years, condensed into one course, 30 minutes, super consumable. Link in the description, check it out. My name is Peter. You're watching Broke Visionary Collective, where we all start with nothing, but you can always